please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Rajiv Bajaj, the MD of Bajaj Auto, joins us on the phone line to talk about that. Hi Rajiv, good morning. I want to first start by talking about exports, because after two very challenging years, finally the export market has started to pick up for the sector on the whole. You think it's just looking optimistic from here, and it could move northwards in the months to come?
It's certainly looking very good, Sonia. Yes, the last 2 years were difficult, both in terms of, key markets and also in terms of where the rupee was for the last 2 years. And repeatedly, Ravi Kumar said on your channel that the test of a good strategy is that you can stay with it in the tough times. And I'm glad we did. We continued to persevere. We launched new products. We opened up new markets. And look at what has happened. Let me give you some detail, for example. I mean, we stuck it out in Nigeria, which was very difficult for about 18 months. And today, Nigeria has rewarded us with the highest growth in terms of motorcycle exports. For the first quarter last year, it was about 39,000 vehicles totally. This time, it is 104,000 vehicles. So that's been outstanding. Let me give you an example on the three-wheeler side. 3 new markets last year, Cambodia, Iraq and Ghana together represented only 2,000 three-wheelers for us in the first quarter. Together, they now represent 10,000 vehicles for us. So the growth is on both motorcycles and three-wheelers. It is across markets. It is in mature markets as well as in new markets. So all of this would augur well for the future. Having said that, with exports, we've learned that every day is a new day. So for now, I can only say that in the first quarter, we've recorded a 31% growth overall in exports at about 540,000 vehicles. This is our highest ever quarterly exports in the history of the company. If you were to simply extrapolate it, it suggests that we should be hitting something like 2 million at the end of the year. Whether we do that or not, only time will tell, but for now it looks good.
Okay. Rajiv, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
But, of course, Bajaj Auto exports is the biggest trigger. Is this number coming at the same historical margins, or have you had to sort of take some kind of hit on that to focus more on the top line number or on the volume number?
I cannot give you a definitive answer to that because I don't know myself. But what I can tell you is what will help the numbers will be the fact that we are exporting many more Pulsars and three-wheelers than we did before. For example, in this first quarter, year-on-year change, the three-wheelers in exports are up by as much as 69%. So that's very good for us. I know Pulsar is also up handsomely, but I don't have the number with me right now. On the other hand, as I just said, if Nigeria is going to perform as it is doing, clearly the Boxer over there doesn't have the same margins as a Pulsar or a three-wheeler does. So I don't know where that balance rests right now. In terms of the rupee, obviously it's been very good in the first quarter. We've generally been 68 plus, so that's another positive. Having said that, there is a raw material pressure in terms of prices. It's really quite vicious right now. So again, how much did we lose on material costs and how much did we gain on the rupee? I don't have that number right now.
Okay. Good morning, Rajiv. Good to have you with us. And again, a sore point that you aren't coming on camera. At least the photograph here is clean shaven. So I would assume that was your complaint last time.
You know, Lata, they say when your work speaks for itself, don't interrupt. So when the results are so good, why do you need to see me?
No, I don't want to praise you on air. But let me come to the domestic sales, which are really praiseworthy. I mean, ultimately, that is the whoop and woof of existence as well. Domestic sales at 234,000. They seem to be a kind of a near-term high that you have scaled. If I looked at all the monthly numbers, the month before was 224, the month before was 229. Are you seeing something very good in the demand scenario, or are you claiming better market share?
I think the short answer is it is better market share, especially with motorcycles. Just to make the point that both on domestic motorcycles and domestic three-wheelers, we have our highest quarterly sales ever. As far as three-wheelers go, let me start with that because that's simpler. When you have something like 80% share in the market, it's impossible to improve on that. So it is actually the expansion of the market primarily by the opening up of the permits that has helped us. Having said that, our highest growth has come actually not from our traditional petrol and alternate fuel segment, where we have grown by 62% year-on-year, quarter-to-quarter, which is outstanding. But it has come in the diesel segment, where we have grown almost 3 times from 7,000 to 20,000. And on the cargo segment, where also we are not the market leader, but we have grown by 76%. So that's the good news. That segments where we were weaker, thanks to new products, we have done exceptionally well. On the motorcycles, the good news is that for the quarter, we have an improvement of 40% growth, which is, again, I think, way ahead of industry growth. So we are certainly gaining share there. I don't know by how much because I don't have competition data. And, what is, again, remarkable there is how all the brands are performing. Quarter on quarter compared to last year, the CT is up 76%, Platina 35%, Discover over 100%, and Pulsar over 50%. So, we have multiple brands doing very well right now, and that is what the growth itself owes itself to.
So I wanted some more thoughts on what's happening with the commuter segment, because the street is very excited about, the impending launches there. What can we expect over the next 6 to 12 months? And you said you increased your domestic market share. Where does it stand at currently?
I just finished saying, Sonia, I don't know what the market share is because I don't have competition data. Maybe in another 2 days we would know that.
Okay.
As far as the commuter space is concerned, yes, there is so much headroom for growth, and this has been our Achilles heel for a long time. I think we finally found the right positions for our brands there. CT competing at one end of that commuter market, the Platina doing very well right in the middle of it, and the Discover coming in again, although admittedly the base for Discover is small, but having said that, it's playing its role at the higher end of that spectrum. So I think finally, although we are again, nowhere compared to Hero in that segment, but I think, as I just relayed the numbers, the growth is very strong. And hopefully we can keep this going. Of course, we need more product intervention, which will keep happening through the year, and we need more sales intervention, which we have just initiated. For example, today we have a sales promotion put into place right on the first working day of July. So I think everything is working together in a aligned fashion for us, and that is why, of course, for the month, we grew by close to, I think, 86% in domestic motorcycles, but that's an aberration because of the low base last year.
Okay.
But 40% growth for the quarter, we are very happy with.
Rajiv, can't let you go without giving us, without you giving us your latest take on the Dominar versus Royal Enfield battle. I mean, Royal Enfield almost 75,000 sales. Disappointed a few people because it is 500 short of that 75,000. Where do you see this battle, and are you doing anything more for the Dominar?
Well, we participate in that segment with not just the Dominar, but with the KTM and with the higher-end Pulsars as well. So, as opposed to 75,000 for Royal Enfield, our sales stand at about 10,000 if you look at all the brands that are there in that price range. I think what is happening is Bajaj and KTM and Yamaha are gaining ground, albeit slowly. And I think, as I said last time when we spoke last month, that we have to keep doing what is right for us. So we have to do what is right for Dominar, we have to do what is right for KTM, and that's going to help us in all markets. I mean, I've been making this point that today in the export markets, if you look at our exports at around 1,500 versus 2,000 for Royal Enfield, that's very close in a short period of time. But in the domestic market, where they are such a tall brand, it's going to take a long time to overcome them. And I don't want to make or to repeat the mistake of Dominar versus Royal Enfield, the mistake we made with 10 years back with Discover versus Hero, where you stray from your position and try to play somebody else's game. I mean, it's taken us 10 years to recover from that on the commuter segment. So we have to be careful not to repeat that.
Okay, just one final question before I let you go. I heard you mention sales promotions from July. What is that exactly? I mean, you had been giving discounts on, you cut the CT 100 prices recently as well. So what would these sales promotions be and on which brands?
we cut the CT100 price in response to the main competitor cutting prices. I have to make that point. We didn't draw first blood. In terms of sales promotion, we have, typically this monsoon period of July and August is difficult for rural sales. So it is not uncommon for every manufacturer to step forward with something. So we have a promotion in place that combines some typical sweeteners on finance with warranty and some insurance-free kind of offer. It varies from brand to brand. It's not a huge discount, but it helps us to keep the numbers going for these 2 months until September comes, and then we are all in a better period.
Okay, a very quick and a very large thank you to you, Rajiv Bajaj.